The camera again. There we go. I think that was perfect. Yep. The camera is perfect. We are live now. Hello everyone. May Yeshua bless you all. I am Father Gio de Ogum, also known as Father Gio de Yeshua Capa Preta. I'm here today with a very, very important video. Alrighty. So we're just setting up our second Tehidu. Not sure if you guys can see me very well. We are in our second Tehidu right now. We're doing a live stream. We're just fixing up everything for the children.
Explain, you can explain to them what is this and why we do this too also.
So these two are small offerings. Steve, can you go behind the camera? Make sure they can see it for us.
Yes.
So these two over here, they're offerings for what we call Cosme Damion, which are little kids in Umbanda. Okay, they never go to Kimbanda. They always stay in Umbanda, and they're pure radioactive energy. Okay, we usually take care of them. Usually you have one or two. Steven, my godchild, since he is the one that heads this Tehidu, he has 2 children. So we are going to go ahead and put it over here in the altar. Excuse me. And this right here is the altar for the little kids. This is something that can be done by really you at home. If you know the name of your kids, you can give them. If you don't, you can contact me. Again, this is the altar for children. What we call it is, or São Cosme Damião. This is for my godsons, kids, Pedrinho and Mariazinha. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be answering a few questions. Steve has a few questions on his phone for me. And we're going to knock this thing out the park.
Definitely. Hope it's going to be a great podcast and hope everyone enjoys it. It should be very educational and very eye-opening.
Is the center for good?
Yeah.
Everything's all good?
Everything's good. I know this guy went to go park his car, but...
Alright, perfect. Let's just start. Steve?
Wait a second, she's upstairs.
I don't care. Steve, pull up a chair, pull up your phone, get comfortable, man. Once again, hello to you all. Yeshua bless you all. Father Gio de Ogum here, also known as Father Gio de Yeshua Capa Preta, or Master Gio de Belzebu, back here with a live stream today. Got a lot of requests, got a lot of questions. The questions I got really, they were
You done?
so small
How you doing?
that I can't really explain too well. Okay.
No, I don't need it.
They're questions that will take maybe a minute to answer or 2 minutes. So I'm gonna just be firing through them, letting my godchildren here settle down, and letting them ask some questions. All right? Ei, tudo bem? Como é que você tá? Deixa eu te pensar aqui. Tudo bem?
No.
Alright. Just put your bag up here. Don't put it on the floor. Right here. Have a seat right there.
Você não tem problema quando ser filmado, não, né? Tá.
Okay.
A gente tem canal de YouTube, a gente tá fazendo um live stream agora. We're doing a live stream.
Ponte más para allá, para que la cámara te vea. Así. Don't be shy. You're welcome to ask any question you want to ask, especially if you don't understand something. Ask the high priest. We're here to help. I don't know much, so I'm always going to direct to him when I don't know nothing. You feel me? I'm going to leave the blind to the blind. Not the blind. Anyways, aside from that.
Relax, Fish. Relax. What's your phone, bro? Now, something I did want to start with explaining to everyone was something that I also wanted to explain to you. Juliana, I don't know where she is.
Juliana's getting dressed.
Okay. I I did want to go over some of the rarer issues in Umbanda and Kimbanda. If you don't understand anything, let me know. I'll explain to you in Portuguese, okay? Now, there are issues that are maybe well known, but they don't come to earth. It's very rare for you to see a medium of that issue. That issue can work in a house, but that issue may not belong to anybody there, okay? So, this is just a quick list I made, okay? This is nothing in particular, okay? I do want to say that this list is not in order whatsoever, and that there are thousands of issues that people don't know their names, okay? Just, I heard yesterday, issue, Qualidaba, I think it was called. It's an issue directly from Africa, right from the roots. So let's get off. Let's start this thing. All right. So the first issue that I want to talk about, or the first set of issues, are the issues that work just in Kimbanda. You will never see them in a Terreiro of Umbanda. If you do, that's because the high priest has roots in Kimbanda, or that medium has that issue, and that issue has to come. Okay? Hello, nice of you to join us. So, I'm going to be explaining a little bit about the issues that are rare to come into temples, and it's rare for people to have them. Okay? There are thousands of issues. This list is in any order. These are just the more well-known ones. Okay? The first one is the set of Kimbanda. Okay? We're going to start with issue Sete Sombras, or issue 7 Shadows. He does not like light whatsoever. Him alongside is issue 7 Sete Desgraças, issue 7 Disgrace, Sete Misérias, 7 Miseries, and Sete Buracos, 7 Holes, and also issue Duas Cabeças, issue 2 Heads. These are issues that work strictly in Kimbanda. You will never see them in a Terreiro of Umbanda unless Kimbanda magic is being done, or a medium there works with that issue and he needs to come down for an emergency for some reason, okay? Issue Duas Cabeças, for example, is a very, very special issue because he can be an issue, he can be a Pombagira whenever he wants to be. So it's a very rare issue.
Like what, both sides?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why o Exu Duas Cabeças, ele é Pombagira e Exu. Ele pode tão trabalhar com um Exu como uma Pombagira também. Tem duas cabeças. Another one that I do want to stress out from Kimbanda, it's funny because most of these are from Kimbanda. The 3 issues that govern Kimbanda, and that a lot of Kimbandeiro houses, a lot of houses of Kimbanda, worship them as their deities, being Exu Lucifer, Exu Beelzebub, and Exu Astaroth. These are issues that a lot of people want to put in their mouth because it attracts attention, it attracts fame. People think just because they say that they have this issue, be it Exu Lucifer or Exu Beelzebub, that people are going to gravitate towards them. Okay? It's 9 times out of 10 if you hear that somebody's working Exu Lucifer, it's bullshit. The reason why I say this is because there are tens of thousands of people in Brazil that work with Exu Lucifer, but don't work with Exu Lucifer. Okay? Exu Lucifer has maybe 1,000 or so mediums, because it's a very big responsibility for you to work with Lucifer. Very big responsibility. You understand me? Exu Beelzebub is the same thing, and Exu Astaroth as well. Those are kings of hell that are coming and giving a little bit of their energy in Kimbanda. So you guys call them Exu because they have very heavy energy. Okay? Now, just because you guys don't see them too often, that does not mean that they're not present. They see a lot of terreiros, they see a lot of things that go on in terreiros. They try to help as much as they can, but they keep their distance unless they're actually working at the terreiro. Okay? Another one that I did want to talk about is a particular group that is the cause for a lot of arguments in Umbanda and Kimbanda, which are what I call the Caboclos Kimbandeiros, which are the Native Americans who are Kimbandeiros. Okay? There are a lot of origins and stories on how they became
quimbandeiros, how these caboclos transform to quimbandeiros. One of the accepted theories are that when they were being transferred over to America, they did not choose to accept Yahweh, which is the Hebrew God that the Christians follow. Instead, they fought to the death to keep with their gods, that being Ogun, the original Ogun, Osasi, Tango, everything the way the African roots were. So they died with their beliefs intact and that hate intact. So they didn't just become caboclos from Umbanda, they came caboclos from Kimbanda, which are now called Ishus. Anything to do with Kimbanda, people love to call Ishus. Kids in Umbanda are called Eres. Kids in Kimbanda are called meetings, Ishu meetings. Okay? So there's that group of Caboclo Kimbandeiros are usually 9 times out of 10 doctors or spirits that work with healing. Okay? Now, there are 2 very important ones that I want to talk about because they are some of the, if not the strongest healers I've ever seen in my existence, and they don't get enough credit. Nobody wants to work with them because their name is not powerful. People don't know their name, and for me, I don't give a damn about a name. For me, if you're an amazing person, if you're an amazing spirit, if you're an amazing deity, demon, whatever you are to work with, let's work together. I've seen Ishu Cobra, for example, tell somebody to get up and they were paralyzed in a wheelchair. Paralyzed, born paralyzed, without use of their legs. Never knew how to use their legs. Ishu Cobra grabbed the person and said, "Get up now." The person started walking. I saw this with 2 eyes in Brazil. So these are very powerful issues that are rooted in history. Okay, there's a very specific reason why they don't accept Umbanda. There's a very specific reason that they don't work with the right side. They can if they want to, but 9 times out of 10 they won't. Another one is Ishu Gato Preto, Ishu Black Cat. He is more of the mischievous doctor. He will play, he's very mysterious. People don't know too much about him. I don't know too much about him. All I know is that he usually tries to guide his mediums, because usually his mediums are people who don't know too well spirituality, but have that calling, and he tries to guide them as best as he can to a temple or to somewhere that needs help, So, for example, in witchcraft, they have what's called familiars, which are animals that guide you and are your friends, okay? One of the very famous familiars are black cats. I'm pretty sure everyone here has heard about, black cats being witches, best friends, and everything like that. That is why he is called Ishu Gato Preto, because he knows that you are going to know that it is very rare that on October 31st, with a full moon, that you're looking at a black cat in the cemetery. You're going to know something is wrong, okay? And usually mediums who work with Ishu Gato Preto also work with issues like Ishu da Meia-Noite, or Ishu da Noite, or Ishu da Morte. Things to do with the night and things to do with the extreme occultism. Okay? Now, something that Steve wanted me to talk about, and you guys could stop me anytime if you guys have any questions as well, are the importance of religious artifacts, the importance of religious tools, what we call in Brazil guias, okay? In Brazil, in most temples, you're going to look and find people wearing these. These are reserved for either captain to the temple or the high priest, or whoever is deemed by the spirit of the house to be ready to wear these, okay? These are not just artifacts, these are not just trinkets, these are not just decorations, okay? These are blessed by your spirit or saint directly. This one here was blessed by the hands of Ogun Shoroke himself, which is my saint, okay? This one was blessed by Chango, because this is for Shango. My Shango is Shango Agonjo. This is for Oshasi, okay? Now, you can't just buy this and expect it to be blessed. That doesn't work like that. Every time you buy something, it has to be cleaned, because hundreds of people touch that item, and after it's cleaned, it needs to be blessed. This is not a crystal where you can bless it in the moonlight. There are some things you can bless in the moonlight using the lights from the moon, and there are some things that need to be blessed in their natural home, I should say. Chango, you can leave it in the mountains for Chango, light a candle, ask Chango to bless it. Is he going to bless it? 9 times out of 10, no, if you don't have a connection to him. Okay? Saints, orishas, they're very hard to reach. If you don't have a foot in spirituality, like you do, and you do, it's almost impossible to reach them, unless they know of you for some reason. Okay? Now, these guias that we call them, okay, they have to go down to your belly button, which is a very important spiritual portal, okay? And that is where it draws a lot of the energy, and it also, how do you say, recycles energy. So it pulls your energy from your neck, which is a very important spiritual point, transfers it down to your belly button, gets that dirty energy, puts it in, gets the clean energy in, and pulls it all the way back to your neck. So it's a constant cycle of cleaning, okay? You guys use the small ones on a daily basis because they're easier to handle. These are heavy, and these are hurting my back just using them. Okay, this alone is 3 pounds. You know, there are the thicker ones that we use in very rare occasions that are called saidas. One of them is this one right here. It's a perfect example. This right here. Yep. This one right here is for Preto Velho, and this is usually saved for the highest ranking Preto Velho that you have, or that the temple has, and I say I being the high priest. So this here is going to take a lot of energy out of you and use a lot of energy to help people. That's why it's not recommended to just go ahead and buy stuff and start using it. First off, if it's not consecrated, there's no use for it. Second off, if it is blessed by a santero or anyone, it could mess you up because you don't know why you want that. Okay, you can look and feel like you need something for Ogun, which is the scene of warfare, the Orisha warfare. But why? Why do you need that for Ogun? What's the specific reason? Without you knowing that information, you can get yourself in trouble. For example, I have Ogun Shiroke, but what if I want to bless this for Ogun Meje because I don't know who my Ogun is? That's going to cause conflict. Because now I'm dragging a saint that has nothing to do with my life and dragging him into my life and saying, you're mine. And then my Ogun is going to look at Ogun Meje and be like, what the heck? Why are you trying to take my son? So you're going to cause more spiritual conflicts, okay? Now another thing that I do want to touch upon, another artifact, are the famous crystals.
Oh yes, please. Enlighten everybody about the crystals.
Listen, I don't claim to be a crystal expert, but I am a bullshit expert. And I hate when people purchase these crystals from these shops and just put them around the house. There are dozens of different ways crystals can be used, and they have very negative consequences if they're used the wrong way. If, let's say, you feel like you have an Egun, which is a spirit in your house, something that's really affecting you, let's say you put down a pink crystal, let's say it absorbs it, your life gets better. Okay, you're gonna leave it there, like people usually do. Now what's gonna happen? One day someone's gonna move that crystal, or it's gonna start leaking out energy. It's gonna affect your life again. Why? Because you don't know how to clean it. You don't know how to discard it. You don't know how to seal it. A very important sealing ritual that was used by Jewish mysticism, Judaicos. They would grab a crystal, trap a high-ranking demon, maybe a general of Lucifer, and they would trap him in these huge crystals, and they would put it in a box, blessed, and they would seal it during a ceremony with wax. And that's what people nowadays known as Dybbuk boxes.
Mm.
Okay, so crystals are very dangerous if not used right. If they are used correctly, which almost never happens, they are great tools to use. I personally do not know how to use crystals, so I stay far away from it. I even tell my godchildren, if you know how to use crystals, great, but don't use them because I cannot advise you on how to use them. What other
It's more
something I didn't want to touch upon is spells online that people learn. It's a great point that Seven Skulls is making in my ear right now. If you learn a spell online, if you learn how to do a ritual, don't do that ritual. Don't do that spell. I don't care if it's spell for finance, spells to bring your husband back, your boyfriend, to get the love of your life, to attack somebody. Don't do it. You don't have a spiritual protection, and you don't have your guides with you. You don't know their names. Okay, you can have a spirit that's telling you his name is, I don't know, Robert. How do you know that that spirit's name is Robert? Can you see him? Can you see that it's really Robert? Or is it just telling you it's Robert because it wants to be called Robert?
it's just like using the Ouija board. You don't know what's coming through.
I know, right?
And people, it's the same thing with crystals. Same thing with everything. You don't know, don't know the name, don't know the voice. It's because it speaks to you in a voice you recognize. Don't mean that's that person, but that spirit that you want to talk to. There's a lot of tricks in this, and you got to be aware of it. Especially when you go on into botanica, spiritual shops, you go get beads like these and just say, I love the colors and I wanted to put them on. What you did is just disrespected the spirit that it pertains to. You don't just go in there like it's Toys R Us, like a toy store, and you're just gonna grab things. That's not how it works.
It's not so much as disrespect, it's there's no use for it. Like you literally just bought decoration. And you can say that you bought it for Ogun and Ogun is protecting you, or you bought it for Chango and Chango is protecting you. No, it doesn't work like that.
This is a process. And in order to go through that process, you have to go through your initiations. You have to go through a spiritual process in order to even get this. It's just not, here's some beads and wear them. That's it, you're done. No. This is not how it works. Spirituality does not work like that. You just can't assume you find something in the internet and say, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to do this. You just explain it. You can have a spell, but is it credible for you to even do it? Somebody's spreading it out to the world, you do this. Then when it messes you up, who are you going to cry to? You can't cry to nobody. You can't say, oh God, I made a mistake. You knew what you was doing. It's premeditated. You went and did it. That's your own fault. Now you got to pay to get that stuff off of you. Those things you guys have to be careful with spirituality. Follow the rules, and spirituality will respect you like you respect it. You start, going, doing your own thing, thinking you know what you do because you read in a book, in a new age book. You're gonna have a lot of problems, and you're not even gonna realize those problems coming because time is gonna go by, and you don't know it's attacking you from that point that you started it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You do something, say for instance you passed away, that follows your family lineages, years on, decades. And then you don't know, that kid doesn't know that's probably somebody's son in your family. Don't know what's following him, why he's having a bad time. Well, it's something you did that now attacked the whole family, and he's getting the worst of it. Guys, you got to be careful with everything you do, especially, with the crystal, as the high priest said, with beads. You got to get them blessed the right way. So like that, it actually does protect you, man. It saves you from a lot of heartache and a lot of things being, spiritual attacks. This helps you a lot. And I expect a lot of people to have good judgment, with this conversation we're having, and opens your mind to when you go somewhere. And another thing I want to bring up is when you guys go to like a garage sale or something, you have to be careful with wearing trinkets or trinkets you just don't understand, you've never seen in your life, and all of a sudden these people are trying to get rid of it. People won't tell you why they're trying to get rid of something. They just want to pass it to you, and you'll deal with that problem. Be careful with that. There was a real life situation that happened that we had to really attend quick, and almost turned really, really left on us. But we managed to get through it, and with the help of the special spirits that came, we managed to conquer that, and we got past it. But it's just a fair warning to all of you. Be careful what you do, but things you find on the internet, really investigate it, right? Or go to a high priest or ask the high priest. He'll give you an answer, and everything will be great.
There are certain things that you can do to prevent the situation. One of them is taking care of your issue. A lot of people don't know how to take care of your issue. Listen, you don't have to be initiated to take care of your issue. You have to have someone who's initiated and is a high priest to take care of your issue. Why? Because you need an ejeh. An ejeh is the hand cursed or blessed to cut. You just can't go ahead and cut a chicken. You can't do that. You have to have a certain way you're going to cut it. You have to be blessed to cut it. It has to be a special knife to cut it. And then you need to know how to clean it, how to offer it, what ways to offer it, where to offer it. This is why high priests charge a lot of money for ejehs and to take care of issues. For example, my high priest in Brazil, he has people that pay him $2,000 a month to take care of his issues. I personally think that's ridiculous. To each their own. I charge on the Patreon $500 for people to take care of their issues. For you guys who are initiated are different. You guys are gonna get initiated soon. You guys are gonna take care of your issues. That's gonna be different. Steven already takes care of issues. He doesn't give them chicken every month, but they eat really well. Okay. Do you have any questions, Juliana? I know you were looking at me.
No, I'm trying to just keep up.
Icon. ¿Alguna pregunta? Okay. Do you have any more questions, Steve?
So far, since this is the beginning, we're trying to touch the basics before we start, going to the next level of these conversations. We're trying to give you all the preventative of what not to do at the beginning, just because you're hearing us and we're telling you these things. We're not telling you gotta follow these rules, but we're telling you, we give you a fair warning so it doesn't happen to you, and then you don't look back and be like, damn, I heard it, but I didn't listen. I still did it anyways. Coulda, shoulda, but you didn't do it. You know what I mean? So from this point on, we already gave you the topic of going to spiritual stores, what not to grab, what not to buy, and what not to do when you see something on the internet. Everything else that follows on is to now educate you to where we need you to be in the spiritual walk that we have here. And I thank you for all of you listening to us, me asking the questions, my fellow students here, which I'm a student too. We're learning. Every day we learn something new. Any questions you guys have, feel free to ask. We're here to answer them the best way. But the high priest can also answer way better than me because, like I said, I'm a student. I'm learning like everybody else. My high priest is younger and I'm older. People would think I'm the high priest, but no. I'm happy to say that this young man is a high priest, and I'm proud because he's helped me and I've taken a long journey. It was a hard one, man, but I did it.
Speaking of Steven's journey, because you guys are gonna have your own memories too, just like you, when you asked the issue that all you wanted was work, all of a sudden work started coming, right after you did the ejeh. With Steven had a few moments of realization, like, oh shit, this is actually real. The first one was his issue's name is Sete Caveiras, 7 Skulls. Told him, within 3 months, you're gonna have a house right next to your job, and you're gonna know it's me. And said a few other things. Said that he's gonna get paid better in his job, he's gonna get treated better. And sure enough, he got this house within 3 months. How do you know it's 7 Skulls? I gave it to him. Cemetery's right here. It was 5 minutes from his old job before he got a new, better paying job, And another topic is, I just found this out today. Apparently, one of our friends who likes to visit our Tejedo is not a part of Kimbanda, but he's a part of spirituality. Good friend Azrael. Told Steven, let's make a deal. I did not know the contents of this damn deal. I'm trying to find out till this day. Nobody wants to tell me. But apparently a deal was made, and Azrael said, Steven, if you accept, I'll get you a car tomorrow. And Steve, I'm not going to pry too much in your financial life, but Steve filed bankruptcy a few years ago. He has shit credit, no money down. How's he going to get a car? All he said was, I agreed to the terms to Azrael. And the next day, Steven got a brand new car. Nobody knows how the hell it happened. Even the manager of that dealership is questioning himself.
Yeah,
But guess what? Steven went ahead and did everything he had to do, gave his 100 to the spirits, and they gave him 100 in return. That's all they ask for. They don't ask you to sell your soul. They know you don't have money. They're not going to ask for money. They're not going to ask for things that they know that you can't have right now. Like, for example, Micon. You can't right now do your initiation. They're still taking care of you. They know that you can't do the initiation at the moment, so they're giving you ways to do your initiation. You understand? So like usually, they want to give you ways, but you just have to want it first. Steven, even though you bitch and moan sometimes, you sometimes take the ways. And that's just how my Tejero in itself works. Okay, I can't speak for all Tejeros, but I know that in my Tejero, if you do not have the financial means to initiate and you want to initiate, we can help. If you're meant to initiate, you're meant to initiate. We will help you. This is a house of worship. This is a house of Kimbun, a house of spirituality first and foremost. This is not a house of money. I can give two shits if you can give me $5,000 or $50,000. I don't care. If you come here with $0, just like Steve did, work your way up. It's not gonna be overnight. It can take weeks. It can take days. How long did it take for you to start getting jobs again? Less than a week. There we go. Micah was an easy situation to deal with.
Yeah.
A lot of people have spiritual baggage that needs to take care of. You have a metric shit ton of things we need to do. It's okay. Steven was worse. Steven was a santero for how many years?
A lot of years.
And
man.
they did so many, they did so much to Yori, and they did so much to you in itself.
It's like you go backwards. It's like you went forward 2 steps, you went backwards 10 steps, and then that's how it just keeps going because
We're stuck.
you feel like you're stuck, and then you start feeling like, yo, nobody really wants to help me. Really help you when it benefits them. When it's gonna benefit both of us, because you don't want to just benefit you. You want to benefit you and him, you and her, whoever is the one that's teaching you. You want it to benefit you. Now, why is it that it's all that way, nothing this way? I'm not getting nothing out of it. You know what I mean? You're not helping me. Why would I have the enthusiasm to even keep coming? Why would I even want you to even try to help me? All you did was just push me away. And when you needed money, you call me again. Nah, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You gotta be 24 hours, 24/7, willing to want to help regardless of anything. Financial crisis. But right now, we're gonna go through a financial crisis. People are gonna need a lot of help. We're willing to help, man, if people are willing to listen.
And here's the thing, your spirits, your Orishas, they know the situation you're in, and sometimes they know that you need to prove yourself to them. They're not going to tell you to do anything dangerous. They're not going to tell you to jump off a cliff. They're not going to tell you to light yourself on fire. They're going to make you step out of your comfort zone. That's what they are.
A lot of movement in our life. You're not gonna stay waiting. You have to work.
Yeah, basically, prove yourself. I have to prove myself like everybody else.
Steven's test was something I don't want to go through again, but I know I have to. We went last second. Chango wanted a job to be done in the mountains. I'm talking last second. This is December what?
It was like in November when I had.
Yeah, November.
I had to save the money for December 22nd. We should have been there. We had to drive over there. It's 12 hours.
So we went to the Tennessee Smoky Mountains for Steven. We drove 14 hours. So we're trying to save money. So we have a spring tent where you can feel every little breeze.
You felt the thoughts.
So
money.
we decided, let's not stay down here in a mountain. Let's actually go to the top of the mountain as high as we can and camp there. And we drove an hour and a half to the top of the mountain, to the only campsite that was available, and we went there. It was about 30 degrees at the base of the mountain, Fahrenheit. Up there it was maybe 5 degrees, 0 degrees.
Negative.
It was pretty windy.
Yeah, and the spring tent, you feel everything. And I'm waking up, I can't sleep because I'm so cold. I have blue lips. Me and my ex-girlfriend at the time, we went to buy a heater because there's places that are open 24 hours. around the Smoky Mountains, and we bought a small heater, Mr. Buddy heater, and like me and Steven were arguing about who's gonna use it for the longest.
It was cold, but you know, we managed to get through it, and I'm here today. And trust me, if I can do it, trust me, I'm not a mountain man. I'll be honest, I'm not a mountain man, but I still went because I had to prove myself. Not only that, I committed myself. I was finally committed to do it. There was no turning back. I'm like, look, it's gonna happen. I don't care. And I went and I did it. Problem solved. I'm here now. You know, I'm going through my process. I already passed the hard process, and I'm going through the small ones now, the easy ones. You know, that you spend a little bit of money. Why? Because the first initiation is your big expense, because you really got to do a lot of preparation. He's got to buy a lot of things. You got to stay in his house, you know, where the energy is great. You know what I mean? Good for you. Good, you know, the spirits, your shoes there with you. Aside from that, guys, once you get past that, everything gets a little easier. You know, just a little here and there's, like, you'll probably get in trouble for, but it's because you have no knowledge of it, so expect, you know, you'll make mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes, you know. Hell, I did stupid shit when I started off with spirituality. Because yeah, I've been working with spirits since came out of my mom's hole. I've been working with spirits forever, but I just, you know, recently found out that I was supposed to lead and I was supposed to be in a Tejero. So, what was it, 7 years ago, I was doing a lot of crazy shit. I grew up in the streets. I never had nobody to guide me. Capa Preta was my issue, and he guided me my whole life. And he, it was one day I was in a temple, and the high priest of this temple received Capa Preta. And at the time, I was with a married woman. I was messing around with a married woman, which is a big no-no. And Capa Preta comes down, and I'm all excited and happy to see him. And I'm like, how are you? How are you, Father? I missed you. He turns to me in that deep voice he has. I'm good. How's that married woman? How's her children? How's her husband? He said that in front of 60 plus people, as loud as he could. Now, people might think that's a bit extreme for him to do to embarrass you, but that's the way that I learned. There are different ways people learn. For example, Steven learns by getting his ass chewed out in private.
Yeah,
I don't. Steven already got his ass chewed out for 8 hours. I got my ass chewed out as well. People think that just because spirits talk down on you and talk harsh to you, that this is all bullshit or this is all evil. No, you have to understand, they talk to you a certain way because they care about you. When Marabou talks sideways to you, it's because he cares about you and he sees the potential you have. You never got your ass chewed out because you've been Mr. Perfect. You
I
haven't,
know, right?
I know. Mike Con's the only one.
Yeah.
Mike Con's like, chill out.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I like to chill. I don't like.
I say, like, if you don't get in trouble, you didn't learn something. It's like, okay, I should never done this. You know, you can't always think everything's gonna be okay. You know, some things that, you know, wasn't okay. I didn't know. Trust and believe. I was on the deathbed a couple of times because I moved a cup here. I moved something I wasn't supposed to move, and by the time I know it, it was like, yo, find this guy. This guy's gonna die. He just watched something he should never watched. There's things, guys. That's another thing I want to bring up. If you go to a high priest's house, you need to ask for every little thing that's in that house because you can move the wrong cup and it's set up for a reason there. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I went to clean something. Now, when it looked like dry milk with things in it, with the little spots, it had something in it, right? So I saw it as dirty. So I picked it up, put it in the sink, and washed it and kept it moving.
Now, it was, just to give you guys the idea where it was behind the door, on the floor, in the corner, the darkest corner.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then after that, I made another error, right? There was a candle. I thought it was an incense candle. Well, the candle was meant for something else, you know, on the left side, which is Kimbanda. Well, I lit the candle up thinking it's just an incense, just to, you know, have the place smelling good. And I gave a phone call. Yo, dude, did you light up the candle? Yeah, the incense. Yo, you're about to die. What? Yeah, I had to do some spell to get it out the way because it wasn't innocently done. I didn't know because he had a lot of stuff on the table, and I thought it was just helping clean the place out.
You have to understand, I was in Brazil doing what I have to do spiritually. And I have Exu da Morte, Exu da Meia-Noite, Exu Sete Morte, Exu Sete Misérias. I have all of these extreme left side Exus. And I'm like, what is going on? Who is dying? Stephen Murillo. What the hell did Stephen do? He lit the candle of death. He lit the candle of death.
Oh no.
Stephen! Why did you light the candle?
Was it green? Was it green?
Yeah.
Didn't it smell nice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't go clean that man's house no more.
Good dad.
Yeah, man. It's just there's some things that you just can't clean, can't do. I mean, like you gotta ask. If you're not used to clean somebody else's house or help somebody out, you're gonna have to ask. You know.
I asked.
I try not to go. That's traumatized. I try to go to people's houses that that mess is there. That's your problem. Why? To traumatize it. I'm sorry. I had 4 death notice. 4 times back to back. It wasn't like one and then months later. No, it was one. Boom. The next following week, another one. Boom. And then 2 more weeks later, another one.
Well, that's how you learn. You learned, didn't you?
Yeah.
If you go to my house, are you gonna pick up a random cup?
No, I'm not picking up a cup. Period. I'm gonna take my own soda. I take my own soda. I take everything by I buy things and I put it close to me. I don't touch none of that stuff because I just don't know what's what no more. So it just rather than do that, I ask me, nah, man, up here is not my business. You clean this fucking mess. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because it's just I already made 4 countless mistakes back to back. I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
you
no.
already have 4
I'm like, yeah, dude, the next
risk
one.
of death.
No, the next one is gonna work out too well. But everything so far, are we concluding this?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut off the live stream. I already asked permission from Capa Preta and Beelzebub. I'm gonna work with Capa Preta or Beelzebub, and I'm gonna live stream that as well. But I'm gonna conclude this as a Q&A, and then I'm gonna live stream Capa Preta and Beelzebub. Now, there's no preparation that you guys need to do. I'm the one that needs to be prepared. I'm the one that's receiving them. So, you guys stay there. Michael,
I want to change.
yeah, go change. Go upstairs, go change. I'm gonna end this live stream, guys, but it's not gonna be over. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna prepare for the revival of his shoes, and I'm gonna be working with his shoes live on camera, right, guys? You guys have a great day. 43-minute live stream.